I'm Christine Blanchette, and joining me on the closing act music and entertainment program is Drew Arnott. He is an award winning singer, songwriter, and co founder of the Canadian band Strange Advance. Drew is back on the show to talk about the upcoming tour and other projects. So, welcome back, Drew.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe time is flying. We were just talking before we went on air, and I mean, it's so exciting to have you back. And now you're going back on tour, and I understand it'll be May 24th in Sydney, which will be your first time
Yeah, this year,
performing.
that's the first show of this year. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're looking forward to that. I've never been there, but apparently it's a very nice little theater. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's the first time for everything, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, we love Victoria and Sydney. Actually, it was a few years ago I saw that Trooper were playing there.
mhm.
And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I looked into it and into the theater, and I thought, well, there's an idea. And Sydney's a lovely little town, so we're going to go visit it.
Yes. And it's a small audience too, right? Which is like, do you prefer performing in front of large audiences or small, or does it just depend?
Well, no, you know something? It all depends. First of all, back in the 80s, our very first shows in Toronto, um, the very first show we played in Toronto was in front of 12,000 people at Ontario Place.
Wow.
So that was like, and of course, when there's 12,000 people there, you can only see the people in the front rows. And so it doesn't have that big an impact. But then sometimes when you look out and you see, everywhere you can look, there's people there. It's a little bit daunting. But the nice thing about we're doing a variety of shows. We do the Sydney Theatre, so that's like 300 some odd people in this nice little theater in Sydney on May the 24th. Then we ship our gear off to Toronto, and we're headlining the Sound of Music Festival in Burlington. So, and they get like 500,000 people there over the 3 or 4 days that they run this thing. So there'll be 20, 30,000 people, and but the difference is the 300 people that are going to be at the Mary Winspear Theater are all our fans.
Yeah.
They're there to see us specifically, and they're very excited, and they know all the deep cuts on past records and stuff, and anything we do is just wonderful for them. Whereas when you're playing in front of 30,000 people, it's like they're not all your fans. They're there to see one of the other acts on the bill, or who knows what. But or there's some guy yelling out for Nickelback, Nickelback. It's like, no, sorry, you got Strange Advance. So that's the only difference. But anyway, we're hoping we'll be able to win over the people that aren't familiar with us.
Yeah. So, why now go back on tour? Like, how.
You know something? This has been such a charge, a boost for everybody in the band. Because we've all done our different things over the years, and like I moved away from live performance. Well, for the most part, I joined my dad's band about 15 years or so ago, and he had a little dance band that played music from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and stuff. And that was the extent of my live performance since the days of Strange Advance, and which I very much enjoyed because I'm actually a drummer originally, so it gave me a chance to get back on the drums, and that was fun. But everyone else in the band, they've kind of drifted away from the live performance. I mean, we're of that age, we're more retirement age than anything else. So it's given the band just this great opportunity to have that thrill again of
Mhm.
playing that music in front of a small, large audience. It doesn't matter. It's just a very fun thing for a musician to do.
Yes, and looking back, right, of all, I guess it's like over 30 years, right? Is that,
Yeah, yeah.
wow, that is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. The other cool aspect of it is when we first started touring and playing live, we didn't. Well, first of all, we didn't tour until after our second album. And so we had no idea who our fans were, you know. So then finally we're out there in front of them, and for the most part they're like high school students, college students, you know, young people. And we, when we go out there, we still have those ex high school, ex college students, except now they're like in their 50s or 60s or something, you know. And getting a chance to meet them and hearing all their stories, you know. Oh, you know, we played this song for our first dance at our wedding, or this song
Yes.
was played at our mom's funeral, and all this kind of thing. So you get to hear all these wonderful stories, and we have the time now to listen and to hang out with the fans and hear all the stories. It's quite an experience.
Yes, and for songs like you're going to be performing in Sydney and then Toronto, but do you have like a repertoire of songs that you'll be singing? Like, does it matter, or how does that work?
Well, you know, that's a good question. First of all, there's the songs that you have to sing, and those are the songs that, you know, got the most radio play and stuff that people expect you to play. And then what we're doing is we're delving into the back catalog, and we're digging up a song from, you know, this album, from that album, that, you know, that
Yes.
hasn't been played for the last 40 years. So it's fun to mix that up, and also we're experimenting with, you know, some covers of favorite songs from back in the day, and that's a lot of fun too, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a mix of old and new.
That's wonderful. And so Toronto, and where else? Like, because you're going to come back
Well,
to Vancouver, right? Is
well,
that
you know, yeah, we're basically flying out to Toronto, flying back to Toronto, flying back. It's seriously, we're at least three times this year we'll be going back and forth, and yeah, so Ontario is basically our home base, because that's where the vast majority of Canada lives, you know. But
Mhm.
we're also going to Montreal, so that's going to be a lot of fun. The last time we were there, we did a Much Music special, and as a matter of fact, I have fond memories of that trip, because it was the one time in my life where I had like a Beatlemania moment. Um, we were doing the television show in this big club, Le Spectrum, and we left on a break, a dinner break or something, and we come out the side doors, and we look up the street. It's like, what's going on? And there's this group of girls. They're like, there they are, and they're all running after. So we're like, run away, run away. Who knows what's gonna happen? So anyway,
Um,
it was a fun time.
yes, like we run, you know.
Ah, yeah, we were running all right.
No, I mean, that's such great. And you know, like with the landscape of performing has changed, and it's so great. Like I said, congratulations on, you know, booking and playing back on the road. And but there's a lot to it. Like you were talking about bringing your gear. That's a lot. I can't even imagine.
Well, here's the thing. Most bands of our vintage, they go out and they do what they call fly-in gigs.
Mm.
So they basically jump on a plane, and some of them don't even bring a guitar. As a matter of fact, one band I know, the drummer doesn't even bring a pair of drumsticks. Everything is supplied for them at the other end, and they just jump on stage, you know, play their show, off the stage, back on the plane, they go home.
Mm.
We can't really do that because we're very specialized. A lot of our equipment is very customized and not available for rent anywhere else. So we have to bring our own. So we
Mhm.
have to load up a couple pallets of equipment, especially because we work with Tim Hill, this visual artist, who just does fantastic work, artistic work on stage. We've got, you know, big screens, projections, you know, like 6 or 8 projectors, you know, lasers. All this is going on, and we have to bring that with us. So
Mm.
it means that and really the bottom line is it means that we need to make more money on the road than your average band, because it costs us to bring all these extra crew, bring extra, you know, equipment, all that stuff. It all adds up. So what we have ended up doing is promoting our own shows. We book the venue, We advertise it. Usually the venue sells the tickets, so we don't have to worry about that. And what happens though is, we were talking about this earlier, because we're the promoter, we
Yes.
get to decide how seats are allocated. And and because things are so tough out there for so many people, I hear stories about people, cutting back on food,
Yeah.
and coming to a show like ours is like, just not within their reach. So then we've set aside, a percentage of seats at each show, and if you can't afford the seat, send us an email, and as long as there's seats left, you will have a free seat to the show.
Oh, that's wonderful to
Yeah,
have that, because you talk about inflation and yes, so what do? Go to a concert or buy groceries,
yeah, exactly.
and what made you decide to do this? I guess, watching the news and thinking,
Yeah,
well, you care for your fans.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what happened was, sometimes a fan would reach out to me and say, "Listen, I'd
Mhm.
love to be at the show. I just can't afford to do it." And it's like, as I say, we're promoting our shows. So I says, "Well, don't worry, I'll comp you a couple of seats. It's not a big deal." But then I realized there's a lot more people out there that don't have a personal connection with me, but they love the band. They want to see the show. And you know, I don't think being a broke person should be a bar to, attending a concert. I think that, music is for everyone.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
wonderful, as I said, and for people who are interested, they send an email, right, and then you go from
Yeah.
there.
If you're a Strange Advance fan, and I'm guessing not too many people are going to show up if they're not, but if you are a Strange Advance fan, send an email to info@strangeadvance.com,
Yes,
and tell us what's going on. And if we can do it, if we have the seats available, we'll give you free seats.
yes. Now, for tickets to go to your show or your upcoming shows, where can they go?
Well, you can go to our website, I guess, strangeadvance.com, and you'll find links to tickets there. And yeah, and we're Facebook is apparently the place now to advertise shows like this. So we're doing a lot of advertising on Facebook. So I'm sure you'll run across the ad. But as I say, go to strangeadvance.com if in doubt, and you'll find links there.
Drew, before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I'll just share this with you. Um, as I was saying, this time out, like after every show, we head into the lobby and we hang out with the fans. Back in the 80s, you didn't do that. There was a big gulf between, the performer on stage and the fan that came to see the show, and it would be very rare that you would get to actually, meet people. But it's the best part of the show for me, getting
Oh,
to hear the stories, getting to actually meet these people. And I see them, leaving comments on our Facebook pages and stuff. But so now I can actually put a face to the name, and it's a wonderful experience getting to hear all the stories. That's what I love the most.
what an opportunity, and it's intimate, and you just feel there's such a connection, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah, Drew, I loved to have you come back, and it was so much fun to talk to you again, and can't wait to hear more. And for tickets again, go to your website or Facebook.
yeah.
And yes, thank you.
My pleasure, Christine. Hope to see you at the show.
You will. You will. Thank you.
Okay.